The Grand Illusion is the seventh album by the band Styx. It was released on July 7th, 1977. This date was chosen intentionally by the band. They wanted to be linked to the lucky 777 number. It was one of the most popular albums, so in this video I'll be talking about my memories with the songs on the album and how a show like South Park even devoted an entire episode to one of their songs. Styx is a progressive rock band that formed in the early 70s. When they started, they were just straightforward prog rock. But then as the band evolved, they created more of an epic theatrical sound with some hard rock influences. This was due to the particular styles of each member of the band. On vocals, we had Dennis DeYoung. He had a very theatrical vocal style. That would bring the band in a different direction later on. On guitars, there was James Young. He was the only founding member to have stayed with the band throughout the years. Also on guitars, Tommy Shaw. He brought more of a hard rock edge to the band, and he was in and out of the band. He was, spent some time doing some solo albums, and he was on the supergroup Damn Yankees in the late 80s. Rounding out the group were twin brothers Chuck and John Panozzo on bass and drums respectively. Also interesting, as you don't really hear much about twin brothers being in a band. The album cover is very interesting. If you look at it, you see a woman's face and a forest. But if you look closely, you see the woman's face forming a silhouette of a man riding a horse. To be honest with you, I never really noticed that until I started to prepare for this review. So let's talk about the most iconic song, Come Sail Away. The song was used in an episode of South Park. In the scene where the boys are in a car with Chef, and during the scene, Cartman mentions that whenever he hears the intro to the song, Come Sail Away, he has to hear the rest of the song, as he won't be able to kind of be at peace until the song plays in full. So in the scene, Kyle starts singing, he's like, I'm sailing away, setting open course for the Virgin Sea. And then Cartman starts to sing the rest of the song, but he does it at high speeds, like, a gathering of angels appeared before my head, they sang before the beautiful hope, and this is what they said. It's such a funny scene. One I've always remembered for a long time, and the song is good. It's actually very progressive. It's not just a pop song. Lots of complex arrangements, and I noticed that re-listening to this in preparation for this. Surprisingly, Come Sail Away was not my favorite song on the album, and that song is Fooling Yourself, the Angry Young Man. This was the second single. It was a minor hit. A great prog rock song. The song was written by Tommy Shaw, and he said the Angry Young Man was supposed to be like Dennis DeYoung, but then he later admitted the song was actually like a reflection of himself. I really love the complexity of the song. They go through multiple time signature changes. There are lots of complex keyboard melodies in the first part. There's some acoustic guitars in the second part. The song is so melodic. The production is really great. You hear all the instruments very well. Every instrument just plays a major part in the song, and the vocals are just really good, very great. Lots of different styles throughout the song. So let's talk about the other songs. The Grand Illusion, that's the opening track, written by Dennis DeYoung. He's also on vocals. Has a very big and epic sound. Dennis DeYoung sings the song in a very theatrical manner. The song is very reminiscent of prog rock of the 70s, maybe similar to a band like Genesis, but with more of those hard rock guitars. There's a good mix of keyboards and rock guitars on the song. And they also mention that, it's a prog band, but the songs in this album are all about 5 or 6 minutes long. So they don't do these overlong epics, but the songs are very good. They're very dense, lots of layers of music. And this was the album opener. It showcases the band's ability to set the stage for the rest of the album. Then there's Superstars. This was written by James Young, Dennis DeYoung, and Tommy Shaw. Tommy Shaw did the vocals on this. Dennis DeYoung offers a very theatrical showman-style spoken word part towards the end. More of an upbeat song, has some cool hard rock riffs. Actually reminds me of a Queen song, maybe something from their 70s period. Has a very theatrical sound. It's very 70s sounding. They incorporate cool progressive keyboard melodies here. Miss America was a song written by James Young. He also did the vocals on this. Probably my third favorite song on the album. It starts with this cool folky intro with these proggy keyboard melodies, some acoustic guitars being played, but then it gets heavy like an Aerosmith song. Actually, the band, it sounds was more like early Def Leppard. Kind of heavy, but it reminds you a lot of that Hello America by Def Leppard. Very similar to that type of song. And a good example of the band showing off their hard rock style. Man in the Wilderness, that's a Tommy Shaw song. Cool song, very 70s rock sound, straightforward, progressive, and folk rock. A good song, catchy, reminds me a little of a band like Uriah Heep. It has these fantasy lyrics, nice mix of keyboards and guitar. Song has a cool, like hard rock guitar riff right before the solo. That's pretty cool as well, and has a nice guitar tone. And the guitar solo is a shredder, so really good song. Then Castle Walls. This is a Dennis DeYoung song, and it's really underrated. It has a cool and mysterious fantasy-oriented vibe. It's a cool rock song. They incorporate some heavier rock guitars during the chorus. And the verse sections are slower, a little more aligned with the progressive rock sound. The organ sound has a really cool tone to it. They add some prog rock style keyboard melodies in the middle of the song and some cool drum fills as well. Really gives you the feeling of being in like this old castle. So they definitely capture the mood here. They add in some cool hard rock riffs towards the end of the song and during the piano solo. And the last song is called The Grand Finale, written by James Young, Dennis DeYoung, and Tommy Shaw. It's a short 2-minute song. It's just a very theatrical sound, and it's just like the perfect like bookend to the album, with the first song being The Grand Illusion. So that's all. It's one of my favorite albums from the band, or maybe it's my favorite. If you want to see how I rank this, check out this ranking video where let's see where does The Grand Illusion place on that ranking. So with that being said, I will see you in the next one.